immature figs. So, that's different than Matthew 29. I think Matthew 24:29, if I'm not mistaken. It's not 1/3, it's the whole thing. And that particular passage is talking right before the end of the end. That would be at the end of trumpets and into the vial period, that the sun is stricken, and the moon does not give off her light at all. And there we have another fall that's happening, and that's the fall of Satan into the pit, Satan and his minions, along with the crust. So anyway, it's easy to pick those out once you've read through the Bible, and every time that you pick up a piece, just kind of keep that in mind. That's my suggestion. Anyway, we're going to dive into that a little bit more on Wednesday, which is the Revelation 6, I think. People will find that interesting. BD, you want to come back?
I'm back, a little bit slow getting up to the broadcast up here. Very interesting, Doug. I am recording sections of this for YouTube now. It's not to promote fear or sensationalize anything, but the broadcast, the lady that was speaking, talking about a second sun, and you're talking about the darkness and a brown dwarf. What she's saying is there's other planets with this, and it's bringing in this debris field. And it should be noticeable around, I'd have to listen to it again, August 15th, where possibly there's going to be a major pole shift and the power grids go down, where the nuclear plants, nuclear facilities won't work any longer, and the ultraviolet rays, the rays of the sun, will be kind of like a microwave. I'm talking about the elite going underground, and they've already built, if you've been following the New World Order agenda, and those that really are behind all of the evil, it's not so much the puppets and the president and Secretary of State Kerry. There's somebody that's over them pulling all the strings. What is the likelihood of something like this taking place, to where maybe the rapture could be imminent? Because I don't think if the sun becomes so scorching, hot, and dangerous, I mean, we see that in Bible prophecy, to where the earth is going to burn up. And I truly don't believe, a lot of people will try to put the United States of America, Doug, and all our viewers, and fit us in as the great whore that sits on many waters, and Babylon is the United States of America. But from my research, and maybe I'm wrong, so Doug, please correct me if you feel I'm wrong, I don't see the United States of America playing much of a part in tribulation, or the last half of the tribulation is not even for the Gentiles, it's for the Jewish people. But when people are running around trying to avoid the mark of the beast, the tribulation saints, I don't know how much of that is going to be the United States of America, because for a long time, America has turned its back on the living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Until there's no more prayer in school, now they're accepting homosexuality, the gay lifestyle, everything that will offend Yahweh. America has done, and I think judgment is going to be swift and harsh and quick, which makes me wonder if this lady is supposed to be a former military operations officer. If she's correct in her assessment, maybe the rapture of the church could happen sooner than we think. I just wanted to get your opinion on that. I'm going to mute my mic.
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, the timing's not right. Okay. And Uh, and yeah, in my personal belief, um, there's going to
Let
be
me interrupt you real quick because you said the timing's not right. Now she's saying it's going to be noticeable around April 15th, but it's going to go on, and this is going to carry on for 6 years. What if she's off a year, and we're talking 7 years? So I just wanted to throw that in there before we counter out.
yeah, it's going to be a progression. It's not going to be, okay, snap your fingers and here it is, in my opinion. I believe it takes course over the period of tribulation. However, uh, what we're seeing, in my opinion, is the dimension of darkness merging into the earth. And it's kind of like there's a copy of earth that's only dark, okay? It's not like there's a copy of us there. We're in a division of darkness and light. We always have been, uh, you know. But I believe what's going on here is Satan's realm, which is on the dark side, is going to be merging into the earth. And it is going to cause heat, but it's not going to be, it's going to be over a progression of time. But now at the end of the first 42 months, there is a big change, and that is the whole fourth dimension, the stars and the all the angels, the fallen angels, the whole thing is going to fall into the earth, and that's when the great tribulation begins. It's going to be at that point terrible, terrible. There's going to be again, this is my opinion, that this brown dwarf system is going to merge in slowly, and I believe it's quite possible that it's sitting um, behind the sun right now.
I agree. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm just trying to squeeze in as much as I can because I'm trying to do sections for to upload to YouTube. I want to touch on this real quick. It's back some time ago. Before I started my YouTube channel, we were down and out. We were homeless. I was crying out for some kind of sign or some kind of answer. We hadn't seen the birds falling out of the sky or the bird pains yet. And I didn't have a camera, so it's not a lens flare. I looked at the sun. We were staying in a family member's home while they were in another state, and we had nowhere to live. And I looked up and I could see an object next to the sun. So I've always, no matter what, who puts what out on YouTube, I've always believed they're probably. I'm not believing in Planet X and stuff like that, but there's something not right, and there's something out there. So I did want to touch on that, but real quick because I guess it's Danny is saying that someone is making the case that the United States is Babylon, the daughter of Babylon or Mystery Babylon. What's your opinion on that? I don't
Well,
believe that to be true. John on the island of Patmos, he was sitting, he was looking out. Where was he? Where's the Isle of Patmos? In many waters, I believe, Rome and the Vatican, but I'll let you cover that.
well, I think that the United States is a part of Babylon. I don't think it's Babylon itself. And at midpoint, of the tribulation, Satan may even try to say, "Okay, I'm here." We know that he comes at midpoint.
Right.
Um, Satan himself. That's when he falls, and all his fallen angels, the whole fourth dimension of darkness, comes in at that point. Um, and so, we really need to be kind of careful about pointing stuff like that out as, okay, the United States is absolutely Babylon, because there could be a trick to that. Uh, and from what I've been seeing going on around those, those circles of not good people, okay? These are channelers and a whole lot of other, mystics are saying that, that all these, that they're talking about these things. In other words, Satan come early, and at mid-trib, he comes and declares that, okay, we're going to go into the fifth dimension now. The whole earth is. But instead, the earth is going the other way into the second dimension. So anyway, my opinion is no, it's not Babylon. It may be a sister of Babylon, but I believe Babylon myself is at some point probably going to be in Babylon. It's never been destroyed, and it has been rebuilt, and they're doing some strange things over there. Why do they need such a massive airport, for one? I also saw some specifications, but I haven't been able to re-find it again. And that is their plans for building a city there. Well, I've been to China, so I know how quickly they can build a city. Okay, they've got I don't know what the number is now, probably 20 huge cities that are just sitting empty. We're talking cities that can house millions in each city, and they're just empty. But I've seen in China how they just demolish great big sections of a city, and a year later, it's metropolitan. It's just green grass and cement and brand new buildings, and they can build those cities really fast. So I have a suspicion that something like that may happen. And also, I mean, Satan has moved his strongholds from place to place. Every time one of his strongholds where he's at gets destroyed, he just picks up and moves. He's got a full history of that. And yeah, we have Rome on seven hills. It's what's going to happen there? Is that an end time removal of the whore, or is the whore going to pick up and move herself to another location? It's hard to say. Right. Anyway, the United States, we got to think back to Sodom and Gomorrah. If you remember the questions that was asked, would you to Yahweh? I mean, we started, I think, at 50. Would you save the city for 50? Yes, I would. It went all the way down to 5. Yes, I would. I would not hurt anybody for 5. And so what happened? Lot was taken out of there before Sodom and Gomorrah was removed. The same thing for the good folks here. He's not going to take down the United States until he's taken us out. That's what the bride is for, is to leave this earth. And the next 3.5 years of tribulation is a persecution time. Right. And a lot of Christians are going to wake up. There are a lot of sleeping Christians out there. They just don't have an idea. They're sleeping. They don't know what the Holy Spirit is. A lot of people think they know it, but they don't. They go on sinning. The Bible is very clear. You're born again. You're a newborn child, and you're one of the children of the bridegroom. You're not going to sin. The Bible is very clear.